2 Kings chapter 2. And it happened that when the time came for the Lord to take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind, Elijah went with Elisha from Gilgal. Elijah said to Elisha, "Stay here, I beg you, for the Lord has sent me to Bethel." But Elisha said, "As the Lord lives and as your soul lives, I will not leave you." So they went down to Bethel. The sons of the prophets who were in Bethel came out to Elisha and said to him, "Do you know that the Lord will take away your master from over you today?" He said, "Yes, I know, be quiet." Then Elijah said to Elisha, "Stay here, I beg you, for the Lord has sent me to Jericho." And he said, "As the Lord lives and as your soul lives, I will not leave you." So they came to Jericho. The sons of the prophets who were in Jericho came near to Elisha and said to him, "Do you know that the Lord will take away your master from over you today?" He answered, "Yes, I know, be quiet." Then Elijah said to him, "Stay here, I beg you, for the Lord has sent me to the Jordan." And he said, "As the Lord lives and as your soul lives, I will not leave you." So the two of them went on. 50 men of the sons of the prophets went and stood opposite them at a distance, while the two of them stood by the Jordan. Elijah took his mantle, rolled it up, and struck the waters, and they were divided here and there so that the two of them crossed over on dry ground. When they had crossed over, Elijah said to Elisha, "Ask what I shall do for you before I am taken from you." And Elisha said, "Please let a double portion of your spirit be upon me." Elijah replied, "You have asked a difficult thing. Nevertheless, if you see me when I am taken from you, it shall be so for you, but if not, it shall not be so." As they were walking along and talking, suddenly a chariot of fire with horses of fire appeared and separated the two of them, and Elijah went up into heaven in a whirlwind. Elisha saw it and cried out, my father, the chariots of Israel and its horsemen!" And he saw him no more. Then he took hold of his own clothes and tore them in 2 pieces. He picked up the mantle of Elijah that had fallen from him and returned and stood by the bank of the Jordan. He took the mantle of Elijah that had fallen from him and struck the waters and said, "Where is the Lord, the God of Elijah?" And when he had struck the waters, they were divided here and there, and Elisha crossed over. When the sons of the prophets who were at Jericho opposite him saw him, they said, "The spirit of Elijah rests on Elisha." And they came to meet him and bowed down to the ground before him. They said to him, "Behold now, there are 50 strong men with your servants. Please let them go and search for your master. Perhaps the Spirit of the Lord has taken him up and cast him on some mountain or into some valley." And he said, "You shall not send anyone." But when they urged him until he was ashamed, he said, "Send." So they sent 50 men, and they searched for 3 days but did not find him. When they returned to Elisha who was staying in Jericho, he said to them, "Did I not say to you, do not go?" The men of the city said to Elisha, "Behold now, the situation of this city is pleasant, as my lord sees, but the water is bad and the land is barren." He said, "Bring me a new jar, and put salt in it." So they brought it to him. He went out to the spring of waters and threw salt in it, and said, "Thus says the Lord, I have purified these waters. There shall not be any more death or barren land from there." So the waters were purified to this day, according to the word of Elisha which he spoke. Then he went up from there to Bethel, and as he was going up by the way, young boys came out from the city and mocked him and said to him, "Go up, you baldhead! Go up, you baldhead!" When he looked behind him and saw them, he cursed them in the name of the Lord. Then 2 female bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys. From there he went to Mount Carmel, and from there he returned to Samaria.